Hello, welcome you dear learner. Myself MP Mishra, Associate Professor, School of Computer and Information Sciences, IGNOU. In this session, I am with you on a topic, Introduction to Computer System. In fact, this is the very first session of this particular program which is going to cover about the academic content or learning process. So, welcome you all. Basically, we are starting our study from here in terms of learning from the video lectures. So, in this session, I will be talking to you about what a computer is, what are different components of computer, and what are the different areas of application generally which we are witnessing today to see that how actually computer is being used to make our life comfortable and easy. In the discussion also we will try to discuss about what are the advantages of computer systems and how it is impacting our life positively. So before we start our discussion, can you think about that what a computer system is, what are the things you see that a computer system is doing, and what are the things you can think about that a computer system cannot do. So just give a thought of that and try to note down few things that is coming in your mind. It will give a kind of lead to you. Meanwhile, you can stop this video, you can write the things and then you can proceed to see this particular video. So this may be a very good basic learning exercise, or it may be a kind of thought-provoking process in which you will try to explore certain possibility of using computer and the area where computer cannot be used. As we see, computer is a kind of electronic device, or it is an electronic device which is having some facility. What are those facilities? It provides storage facility, it provides some kind of processing facility, it provides some kind of data input facility, and it also provides some kind of output. So we can say that computer is a digital electronic device which provides facility to get data as input, then process that data, and whatever result come after processing, give that particular in the form of output. Now, whole thing, whatever you are seeing anywhere in the vicinity of yours or wherever you see a computer device that is doing something, all the computer devices are doing these things. What they are doing? They are taking some input, they are processing that particular input, and then that processed input obviously is producing some kind of result that is known as output, and then that output is coming as result to you. Now, you will say here that what kind of processing is happening, what kind of input are given, what kind of output are expected. So as you include these questions in your thinking process or answering what actually a computer is, you are gradually trying to learn that how actually different kind of applications are being developed and being used or being run on a specific computer. So it is simple device, it is taking some input, it is processing, it is giving output, but the processing activity is actually deciding that what a computer is going to do, because processing is nothing but some kind of instructions are provided to the computer and those instructions computer follow. So those instructions can be seen as a kind of some sequence of operations which are going to perform. For example, in normal real life, if you say that if you are having two numbers, you want to add those two numbers, so obviously you will be taking those two numbers as input. Then in processing, what you will do? You will add those two numbers, and in result you will get the sum of that and you will display. So it is a simple operation, and that particular operation can be visualized or simulated in the form of acting of a computer. So in computer you are giving some numbers to add, those numbers are being added, and then result is generated. So this is one of the very simple example how actually the processing we can think about, or how actually the application of computer we can think about. But if you gradually increase the complexity of the operation, then you need a system in which there are more instructions. Those all instructions are written for performing some specific purposes, And again, you can take any example. If you are going on a shop and you see that the shopkeeper is having a computer and bill of the purchase is being generated with the help of computer, you can visualize that shopkeeper is doing nothing but what shopkeeper is doing? It is giving some input, the input is processed, and after processing the result is generated and you are getting a printed slip. So you have to visualize in that way. Similarly, you can think about you are going in a bank, you are filling up a slip for withdrawal of some money, you are giving to the person who is processing it, the person is checking certain data on the basis of your input, it is processing, it is providing some kind of identification or token to you, again after presenting that particular token you are getting the money. So now you see how simple is the visualization of such a complex process. There are so many things happening internally, but externally what we are visualizing is we are giving input, input is processed and output is generated. So whole complexity is associated with all these components, whether it is the input component. If you talk about the input component, the one very simple question or very genuine question should come to our mind, that what should be the device through which the input will go. Now you are putting one more question, it means you are trying to broadening to know about computer more. So obviously you will be using some keyboard through which you can type certain characters, words, or you can provide some input. You may use mouse to perform certain operation or click on some buttons. And if you are using some other kind of computer, that is your mobile is also a computer that we will discuss later on in this session. Your mobile is obviously a very authentic computer that is performing almost all the basic activity which a general computer or a laptop can perform. It is very simple, or it is very easy to understand the basic philosophy of a computing system or computer: providing input, processing, and then getting output. If we remember these things, we are aware about basic components of the computer. In between also so many things will come as you start putting or raising certain questions, you will be getting different answers. For example, if you are processing, if one question come to your mind that if I am processing certain data, is there any facility to store it? Then again for that particular thing, answer is yes, you will be having some storage device in the form of hard disk or in the form of some flash memory, or which you say pen drive. Similarly, it may be you are having some other mechanism to store some disk, you are having CD-ROM you are having, or CD you are having, in that you can store. So we are seeing two type of things which are coming together in a computer system. One is the physical devices or the hardware devices, and second the instructions or set of instructions that we say program for specific purposes. So these two things are categorized in two categories. One is the hardware, like keyboard, mouse, printer, scanner, maybe your monitor. Similarly, for software, the instruction set which is controlling whole computer system working, like your operating system, that is a software. Similarly, the application on which you are working, as I mentioned, it may be a billing system for a shopkeeper, that is a software. It may be a computer system or a software which is being used in a bank, that is again software. Similarly, many more things you will see in the form of software. For example, in our real life we see so many things. One more thing very commonly used, you can take that for railway reservation you use some online software, that is online railway reservation booking portal from where you do the booking of the railway tickets. Similarly, some other applications also you can see, some applications related to social media. As you know, almost everybody who is having a smartphone is using one or other kind of social media, whether it is Facebook, Twitter, or WhatsApp. So that is also a kind of software which is providing some kind of facility. But the type of input and the type of output in that particular software is a bit different. So every software is having its own different requirement of input, its different way of processing as per the need of that particular problem, and different kind of output expected from that particular problem. So computer work on the basis of the specific problems. Any software which you are having, that will be solving some specific category of problem, and it will be having some specific type of applications. In coming sessions, we will be discussing about those things in little detail, what actually software is, what are the different kind of softwares, what are different application softwares, and how you manage your data and what is database. Those things gradually we will be learning in coming sessions. So with this basic understanding, we have to move further that a computer is nothing but an electronic device which is having facility of storage, which is having facility of taking input from external sources, which is having facility of working on that particular input on the basis of certain instructions provided to the machine and generating some output, and that output can be either stored or can be given as a output to some external devices like on your screen or maybe from printer, like that. Now if we talk about computer in a generic way or whatsoever we see around us, what are the different kind of computers or what is visualized as a computer? You see a personal computer which is having a CPU or a box. Inside that box some machine components are there and you are having a separate monitor that is there. Nowadays one different kind of setup is coming in which your monitor as well as your CPU both are combined together and coming as a device which can be placed on a desktop, and that can be used, and you have to obviously use the keyboard, mouse and other things, and those all things also we will be discussing in coming sessions in the form of different input and output devices and how different input and output devices are used for performing different activities. So you can see your personal computer, laptop obviously a portable device or portable computing device which easily can be moved, and obviously it will be having the capability of your personal computer or desktop. Similarly notebook also is like a laptop, but it is having some limited facility and it is more lightweight compared to laptop, and it is used for general purpose of social networking, data processing or some kind of presentation or some kind of basic application development. So less capable in comparison to laptop. And most importantly your smartphone or the mobile which you are using, which is having a very good operating system and which is having good storage device, which is having good capability of processing and which is having good capability of providing basic feature of a notebook if not a laptop. So that also provide you facility. It can be used for the purpose of calculation, it can be used for the purpose of using the social sites, it can be used for the purpose of basic data processing, it can be used for the purpose of preparing simple presentations. So your mobile is also a type of lightweight computer or a simple computer which can be used for different purposes for which a computer is used. Now, what are the different areas in which we can visualize the use of computer? Here a list of the different areas which include from education to business, entertainment, health, transportation, services or governments or electronic governance, agriculture, arts and culture, office management, social networking, and it may be the online shopping which obviously includes the business, it may be the business trading, or it may be the scientific applications. You name any area, you will find that computer are useful. And why they are useful? Because they are having capability to process the things very fastly and accurately, as well as they are having capability to store the information. Also they are having capability to provide output in different format to the users as per their specific need. Now in the area of different kind of business or government services, that is ICT. ICT means information and communication technology. Basically ICT is a kind of umbrella word. Umbrella word means you can visualize, umbrella means it is having something to cover and there are so many things you can put under it to represent one unit. So ICT is having not only your computer, it is having some other facilities also, like some kind of communication from one place to another place. If there are two devices, how those two devices can communicate. Not only that, if data is being shared, what kind of different security aspects associated with that, those all things if you combine together in the computing arena, you can say it is an ICT application or ICT in action. Some normal applications of ICT we can visualize, as I mentioned, railway reservation system, online banking, online shopping. Now you might have seen Online bill payment is one of the common practice which is being used. Even by using your mobile apps, you are able to pay the bill of your mobile as well as maybe electricity or maybe something else. So ICT is having a lot of potential in terms of social development, in terms of providing different kind of services to the society. So ICT is not mature as far as if we talk about our country India is concerned. ICT is having much more capability to expand, much more capability and options are available. So it is having a lot of potential in terms of providing job opportunity, in terms of providing employability also. If you are equipped, if you are capable, if you know the ICT tools and technologies, you can be better in terms of claiming the job in job market. So from that angle also you try to gain some knowledge, you try to learn ICT tools and technologies to make yourself equipped for your future. Social networking, obviously social networking software are now some kind of common facility, common applications which are extensively used by the youth like you, which are using these different social networking tools and softwares extensively for different purposes, for socialization, for sharing information, for the purpose of business. So it is having a lot of capability to provide easy access, to provide easy management of different data and information associated with your personal communication as well as business communication. Now if we talk about personal computer, in the diagram you can see it is having a simple box. Inside that box system unit is there, that is CPU is there, then you are having monitor or screen on which you try to interact with your CPU, whatever you are giving as input or whatever is coming as output that can be seen on the screen. Similarly keyboard is used for the input purpose and also mouse is used for normal input purpose or providing different kind of instructions to the computing device or computer. Now how a computer can be seen in terms of a block diagram. Block diagram means what are the different blocks that we can visualize in a computer system. So one block we can visualize as an input block, another block we can visualize as an output block, but inside that particular whole processing block is there. Now inside processing block what is there? Inside processing block you are having memory, you are having control unit and you are having arithmetic logic unit, and this whole thing is known as CPU. So you are having different unit inside the CPU, that is central processing unit, and whole these different component inside the CPU, whether it is your main memory, basically memory is required where your instruction and data both are loaded and there those things are executed. So input and then you can see a block CPU and one block output. For the time being, this particular knowledge is sufficient enough for us to proceed further. Later on in the next session, we will be discussing about CPU in more detail. Now you see input. Input you can see your keyboard is there. If you are playing some game, you might have seen that some different kind of devices are used that look like mouse or some joystick kind of thing which is used for different kind of control activities in the gaming application. So your keyboard with the which is having different keys for different purposes, some special keys, some common keys for providing the numeric value or the alphabet as input, and mouse is also used as an input or pointing device. And similarly primary memory, as I said, that whatever we execute that is first loaded, whether our data or instruction in the memory, and from there it is executed with the help of different control activities in the CPU. And one is the storage device that you generally heard in the form of hard disk or pen drive or CD. So storage device and output, maybe your printer is there, your screen or monitor is there, or maybe some plotter is there for the purpose of plotting graph and other things. So these all things can be seen as component of the computer system, and computer system quality definitely depend on the quality of these individual components. How good, how efficient, how productive, or how reliable your computer system is. It's all depend on the quality, the goodness and the reliability of different component, as I mentioned, whether your input devices, storage devices and the CPU and the output. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning itself, let me elaborate little more about the function of the computer or computing system. The receiving input, it accepts information from output devices through various, from outside of the world through various devices like keyboard, mouse, etc. And similarly, processing information for performing arithmetical, logical or some kind of instructional information, the processing is performed and that processing is done by the help of CPU. CPU is responsible for all the processing of the computer system, and obviously there are different type of different component inside the processing unit or inside the CPU. So that we will be discussing later, that what is the control unit, what is the arithmetic logic unit and what is functionalities of those, and then it produce output. Output is nothing but the processed data and the result. Whatever information we are getting after the processing, that is our result, and that is provided in the form of output using our output devices like screen, that is monitor, printer or plotter. And storage, if output is there, that particular can be stored in the storage device, and similarly if some applications are there, if that application is not running, obviously that application is also stored in the storage device. And very commonly used storage device is our hard drive, where the things are stored and where we keep all the applications or all the data which we use for the different kind of application stored. Individual computer. If we see that individual computer is performing these things, but at the same time it may be that individual computer is connected to network. So in the diagram you can see that CPU is there. CPU responsibility is to perform controlling operation. Whatever operation in the computer system is happening, those all operations are controlled by CPU and its control unit. And whatever processing activity, whether arithmetical or logical processing is happening, that happens in ALU. ALU, arithmetic logic unit, is performing the arithmetical and logical operation. So whatever operation we are using in the form of arithmetical or logical, whether addition, subtraction or some kind of comparison, those all things happen with the help of those ALU components. And similarly, for storing those information, some kind of registers or some kind of storage devices are used, that is there. And then you are having, for storage purpose, the disk is there, whether your hard disk, pen drive or CD. And similarly you are having output and keyboard, and all these things are in combination making a complete computer unit. This whole unit, if you are connecting to a network through some connecting device or connecting port, then you are connecting to outside world. It means each and individual device is complete in itself for performing certain operation, but if you have to communicate to some other device, for that you need to connect, and that connection may be a wired connection. You are having a wired network, through that you are connecting, or wireless network. For example, your mobile, if you are saying, is a computing device, so your mobile is communicating to some other computing device with the help of wireless connection, whether it is the mobile network connection or Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. So all these things, basic operations, you might be observing frequently by using the mobile device, and you see that is happening. But your mobile is also having all these things, whether control unit or processing unit or storage or inbuilt memory or external memory, and then obviously in the place of monitor you are having your mobile screen, and keyboard and mouse, for that you are having your touchpad, and obviously for the purpose of keyboard you are having some apps which is providing you facility for the purpose of keyboard. So these all things are there, and combination of these all things help us to perform basic functionality of a computer system. So around this, if we talk about in a nutshell, or we summarize our discussion here, so we can say that a computer is a very general purpose device, and it is helping us to perform different kind of activities, And obviously for performing different kind of activities, different applications are required, and those different applications take input, then some instructions are there, those instructions are processed and provide output. Several example you can see, whether your online shopping, whether a normal billing on a grocery shop or banking system, or even normal mobile application or social networking applications. These all applications are having some capability of taking some input, then processing it and then providing some output. So with this I conclude this session here. We will meet again in next session. Thank you.